Hi, my name's Laura Annunziata. I'm the Assistant Director for Professional Development at Wolf Trap Institute for Early Learning Through the Arts. I'm a white, middle-aged woman with brown hair and glasses, and I'm wearing a black shirt today.
Hi, my name is Penny Russell. I am a trainer and master teaching artist with the Wolf Trap Institute. I am a white middle-aged woman with gray bangs, and I'm wearing a black and rainbow Wolf Trap t-shirt.
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Jasper the Squirrel. I am a gray squirrel puppet and I am adorable and I'm holding a sign that says STEMI because I'm excited to be here.
Hey, Penny. Hey, Jasper.
Oh, hi Laura. So nice to see you. Just in case this is your first time talking to a squirrel, I am Jasper and I'm kind of a big deal. I live in a hole in a tree called a den, but I am not a bear. Some of my cousins live in these great big nests up in the trees. They're called a dray. My favorite thing to do is get to come into classrooms and learn from the children in the classrooms. They teach me how to sit in circle. And let's see, they teach me that this is not sitting still when I move around a lot. And they teach me that sitting on my head is not sitting on my bottom. Right now, I have a acorn and I am going to go find a hole, dig a hole, and bury my acorn. Bye.
Hi. Today, Penny and I are going to share some examples of arts-integrated strategies she's created in collaboration with educators and community partners working with early learners. Wolf Trap Institute for Early Learning Through the Arts serves just under 100,000 children, educators, community partners, and families annually through our network of affiliates throughout the United States and in Singapore. We're based just outside Washington, D.C. at Wolf Trap Foundation for the Performing Arts, which is located in the only national park for the performing arts in the United States, Wolf Trap National Park. Wolf Trap Institute for Early Learning Through the Arts focuses on arts-integrated learning strategies in early childhood education, bringing together Wolf Trap-trained teaching artists with educators and community partners for residencies and workshops to build their capacity to use art strategies in their work with early learners. Our teaching artists are trained to use a number of elements to guide and inform their practice. A few that are relevant to our conversation today include that the learning experience integrates the art form with curricular content that's identified by the education partner.
Oh, like maybe the educator wants to learn about squirrels, and maybe the children in the class really like hands on experiences like getting to hug a squirrel. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And some others, like all children have an opportunity to make choices and give ideas, or that children are given sufficient time to process their answers or respond.
It's child led. And sometimes, well, I have problems, and the children can help me solve my problems. They're very smart.
That's true.
We also want to make sure that the experience contains a combination of sitting and planned movement.
We work with our teacher partners to know what is the most accessible movement strategies for their children.
The experiences should be scaffolded to build on prior knowledge and extend learning, and our plans are individualized for the needs of the child, group, teacher, and family.
Whatever the needs in the classroom are, well, we can find a way to meet them by partnering with the educator and listening to the children.
So right now, let's join Penny and Jasper as Jasper visits his home tree, and maybe we'll meet another animal friend. Penny uses Jasper in the tree to explore STEM learning areas like observation, prediction, exploring habitats, ecosystems, and seasons.
Oh, hey everybody, this is Jasper, and here is my tree. I live right down there in that hole that I said was called a den. Remember that? Let me tell you some more about my tree.
Well, let me tell you some more about this tree. This tree was made from one cardboard box.
It's recycled.
It's true, it's recycled. And you could make a tree for your classroom any size from any box you have. I've made tabletop trees with educators. We've made trees of all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes educators I've worked with have found, you going to help me, Jasper?
Yeah.
Some bark that fell off a tree outside and then glued that to the cardboard to make it more of a sensory experience. But this tree can be something you can touch and feel and move and change with the seasons. My favorite thing to do with a tree like this is pick one tree in your neighborhood, on your playground, to follow throughout the year. Make some leaf rubbings or find the shape of that leaf and recreate it and add it to your tree. Change your leaves with the seasons. Maybe you have Okie the oak leaf. Maybe you have Mabel the maple tree. Find whatever is happening with your tree, the seeds that are exposed, if it has flowers, if the leaves change colors, if it loses leaves, and recreate it here in the classroom tree. Today, this tree just has some fabric on it for the leaves, so I can easily change with the seasons and follow the tree. In the winter, it becomes pretty easy, and maybe the tree is dormant and you can leave it still throughout the winter. But a way of making observations come to life, a tactile way of sharing and creating, recreating, of writing down, of holding on to your observations.
Okay, no problem, Penny. Here we go. Here's another thing you can do with this amazing tree. It can be a puppet stage.
So this could be a tree that follows the seasons throughout your classroom. This could also be a tree that is a habitat for all the characters in your classroom. Because this is a puppet tree, you can really explore these habitats. You can take down the nest because it's a puppet tree. You can hold it in your hand. You can listen to the birds. You can check out their nest in the spring and make some predictions about what might be in that egg. There might be bees and other birds in this tree. There might be butterflies and bugs. You can create out of paper and some colored pencil. You can create your own characters to live in that tree. Sometimes I'll make some rod puppets. Also, sometimes use just a paper tube to make a handle. So you could have a flying puppet that might be easier to manage, or might be something you can put your fingers in this way. So many ways to adapt this tree to meet the needs of your classroom. If this is a habitat that we've created in the classroom, it might encourage some other friends to join, like Bernie the bear.
Oh, hello, everybody. My name is Bernie. Hello, I'm a black bear, and I am a puppet, and I am a friend of Jasper's.
I think Bernie might be a little bear cub. I'm not a baby. I know you're not a baby. It's okay. It's okay. But Bernie might be an outdoor ambassador, just like Jasper, who visits the classroom and talks all about the woodland forest until the weather gets a little colder and those leaves start changing colors and Bernie the bear might disappear. Then we have some real sleuthing to do. We can do some problem solving. We can do some research. We can go on a bear hunt and find out what has happened to Bernie the bear. Once we discover more about these black bears, we might discover that Bernie might come back to visit in the spring. So we can be looking for signs of spring for our friend Bernie to return. I'm going to hand it back over to Laura.
The Institute programs are professional development experiences, primarily in the format of multi-session classroom residencies or workshops. The residencies are focused on building the educator partner's capacity and comfort with using arts-integrated strategies in their work and take place in the presence of children. The residency model utilizes several strategies to ensure that each individual residency is tailored to the needs of individual children, the group, and the educator partner. Teaching artists don't use pre-created curriculum. Wolf Trap Institute provides robust, ongoing professional development for Wolf Trap teaching artists that supports them in creating individualized plans for each residency. The educator partner works with the teaching artist to provide a preliminary profile of the learning environment of children and leads the selection of content for the focus of the residency. Teaching artists can observe the classroom in action before their first residency session and debrief and plan with the educator after each session to discuss the experience, to adjust plans, and to consider the child and educator's needs. These pieces of the approach provide opportunities for discussion and planning around environments, duration, materials, adaptations, and effective instructional formats. Our teaching artists build upon the information they learn from the educators and children to customize the learning experience, adjusting and adapting as they move through their residencies together. The relationship between the teaching artist and educator or community partner is collaborative, and for residencies, we use a model of gradual release, with the intention being that the educator will lead the use of arts-integrated strategies on their own by the end of the residency. Now let's pass back to Penny so she can demonstrate a way she customizes the use of a commonly used percussion instrument to lead into some additional learning areas.
In this section, we are going to use some egg shakers. We are going to meet a puppet, and we are going to move our bodies. First, our egg shakers. I wanted to point out that the arts are a wonderful opportunity to unlock STEM content. What's in the box? What's in the box? Do you think you know? We can use our senses to make predictions about what might be in this box. We can find a box of egg shakers. I love to let the children pick their own egg shakers from the box, and they have taught me so much because I buy these eggs from the same company every year, and I buy them all in black, so they're exactly the same, but they are not exactly the same, and our children know it. Different eggs from different years have a different texture on the outside. Different eggs that I've bought in different years have a different size font and a slightly different sound. So letting the children pick their own eggs, they are discovering and making observations about these eggs that I did not do on my own. Once we have these instruments, be aware that the sound is bright and can be too bright for some of our friends. I found some shakers with a lower pitch that I might use in class. Sometimes just standing away from all of the children shaking the eggs can be enough, or holding them tight so they don't vibrate as much can alter the sound enough. But we're going to use a steady beat to keep us focused. And we shake, and we shake, and we shake, and we stop. And we shake, and we shake, and we shake, and we stop. And we shake, and we shake, and we shake, and we stop. And we shake, and we shake, and we shake, and we stop. Music gives us the opportunity to create patterns, to repeat patterns over and over, to sing directions, to narrate what is happening. We can sign or speak that final phrase to finish it off. For those children who are very musically inclined, it's a way to encourage some communication. We can use this chant later in gross motor movement. Another one I like to use with the eggs is prior knowledge, developing prior knowledge or confirming prior knowledge before we get into our lesson. So we might go up, whoop, shake your shakers up, arriba, arriba, shake your shakers down, abajo, shake your shakers up, arriba, arriba, shake them all around. So many access points, different languages. We've got the visual of our body. We have the sound changing with the levels that we're using. A dance artist might focus on dance levels. A music artist might use a slide whistle. So many ways to practice this up and down movement. When we're doing it with our own bodies, we've got that total physical response where we're learning that vocabulary. So lots we can do that is STEM related with a simple egg shaker from the classroom. It is time to meet that puppet because our friend Jasper has a problem, and we are wonderful problem solvers here in this class. Jasper, you can also work on social emotional skills. Jasper does not look very happy. Jasper, are you sad?
I'm so sad I have a problem.
Tell us your problem.
Well, I bury my acorns and I dig them up later. Well, I can't find all my acorns. I left some of them down in the soil.
Jasper, it's okay. It's okay because that acorn is a seed. And we've been talking about what happens to seeds down in the soil, right? So let's remember, sometimes we also eat seeds. So I might eat a sunflower seed. I might drop a sunflower seed down in the soil. That sunflower might get some rain. That sunflower seed might get some sun. And the next thing that happens, the roots grow down, the roots grow down, the roots grow down. The next thing that happens, this is what happens when the stem shoots up. The stem shoots up, the stem shoots up, and the leaves grow out, the leaves grow out, the leaves grow out, and the flower blooms, bloom, 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 blooms. Because this is a sunflower, the seeds are right in that flower. We can pick one up. We can dig a hole just like a squirrel. Are you ready? And we dig and we dig and we dig and we stop. And we dig and we dig and we dig and we stop. Drop in that seed. Give it some water. Give it some sunshine. And then we can pretend we are the seeds down in the soil. We might sit on the carpet. We might stay in our spot or in our chair and make our body as small as we can. This is something we work out with the teacher. And then it's quiet. And the soil feels like a soft blanket. We might even cover some of the children with a blanket who like that sensory experience. It's cool and quiet and dark. And when we're ready, the roots grow down, the roots grow down, the roots grow down. The next thing that happens, the stem shoots up, the stem shoots up, The stem shoots up. We can sit up tall. We can stand. We can raise our arms. The leaves grow out. The leaves grow out. The leaves grow out. The next thing that happens, the flowers bloom, 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 bloom. So we'd work with the teacher, determine what vocabulary they want to focus on. What is our goal for this lesson? How do we include all of the children in this lesson? And this becomes a physical representation of our puppet plant. I'm going to hand it back over to Laura.
Children learn from doing and from experience. The arts and STEM are natural partners that way. Not only does the integration of art strategies into the curriculum provide multiple new entry points for learning for a wide variety of learners, we frequently hear from educators that it provides them with a unique window into individual children's learning styles and preferences. Our experience is that arts integration can reveal children's capacities in the ways that weren't evident with more traditional pedagogies, particularly in the area of STEM learning. Let's check in with Penny again. Not all characters need voices, and Penny is mindful and selective of sensory input and expression when she individualizes content. In this case, we're going to meet a character, a busy fella, who doesn't speak.
This experience came out of a classroom in which the educator was working with a book and wanted to explore math through this book. So we started with a science portion of reviewing a farmer using their garden shed to plant some seeds. And then we started focusing on what happened to those roots. And our garden shed is full of things that we found along the way. We have just a stick with some duct tape that became our shovel, and we had many opportunities to water the garden. We could use a hose, we could use a bucket, we could use a watering can. We came up with more ideas because there is more than one way to solve a problem. But soon enough, the carrots were growing and we had a new challenge. There is a blue and pink rabbit who is taking one of the carrots from the garden back to their bunny hutch. Well, the farmer comes back and is quite shocked about what has happened. We need to confirm what's going on here, so we are going to count the carrots in the garden. We are going to use our counting bunny to give us one-to-one correspondence when we are counting. This counting bunny has a stick to use. We can also use one of those handles, or we can attach the counting bunny to your arm. Again, whatever we need for accessibility. We are going to add a drum beat to our count for one other access point. Here we go, counting the carrots in the garden. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 carrots in the garden. When I am working with children with hearing loss or deafness, we will maybe put their hands on the drum if that's something they like. Sometimes sitting at the other end of the drum gives you that vibration in another way. We are going to count how many carrots in the bunny hutch. Here we go. 1. There is 1 bunny one carrot in the bunny hutch. We are going to count the carrots all together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 carrots all together. As you can imagine, the next evening, that rabbit comes back. In this experience, the teacher or the children might become the rabbit. If we are doing higher math, the rabbit might eat those carrots and it becomes a subtraction problem. But right now, we're just focusing on that part whole. We'll give every child a chance to be the counting rabbit. We will keep that drum beat and follow their lead when they are counting. For some children, finding out that there are 5 carrots every time is a revelation. If we were needing more of a physical sensory experience, we might use 3-dimensional props. We might have the children hold the carrots in their hand and let the rabbit jump on those carrots. We might create number sentences from each one of these challenges. My most exciting part of this experience is what happens after. How we can problem solve this challenge of the farmer's carrots being eaten by the bunny. The bunny needs food. The farmer wants carrots. How can we solve this problem? We become engineers. We start coming up with ideas, testing them out, and it becomes very, very student-led as we try to help the rabbit and the farmer solve this problem. I am going to hand it back over to Laura.
Thank you for letting us share a little bit about our work today. Before we sign off the presentation, we wanted to introduce you to another character who's fantastic at prompting inquiry, recall, prediction, and imagination. Penny, is Mr. Question Mark here today?
Oh, here I am. Are you looking for me? My name is Question Mark. I am a blue 2-dimensional question mark with googly eyes and a red mouth. You heard me, a 2-dimensional question mark with googly eyes and a red marker mouth.
I created Question Mark in about 30 seconds when we were working virtually, and I needed a way to help engage the children with their deeper questioning and with open-ended questions. What I did not predict is how popular Question Mark became. With a little personality and some eye focus, the children loved Question Mark, missed Question Mark when Question Mark did not come to class, asked about Question Mark. So Question Mark has now become a regular staple of some of my residencies. That's true, that's true. I am very good at inquiry. One of my questions for you, Laura. Who came to visit you today during the presentation? I missed it.
Oh, today was so much fun. I got to see Penny, of course, and Jasper the squirrel, and Bernie the bear cub, and a rabbit in the garden, and, well, you.
Ooh, here is another question for you. Who lives in the tree with Jasper the squirrel?
Oh, it's always so much fun to see Jasper's home tree. Today, when we visited it, there were some birds in a nest in the tree with him.
Ooh. And another way for those open-ended questions, who else might live in a tree? So many open-ended questions that Question Mark can offer. Here's another question. Did you learn anything about seeds today?
I did. I learned that you can plant seeds in the dirt and that Jasper collects a special kind of seed that comes from an oak tree that's called an acorn.
And guess our last question. Our last question is, do you have any more questions?
Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Jasper, Bernie, Rabbit, and thank you, Mr. Question Mark. And thanks to everyone who's in attendance with us today for joining in.
STEMIEFest, STEMIEFest, STEMIEFest.